Okay. Well, the river's right there, and the sun's just coming up over the eastern horizon. Where are we at? We're down here. We need to go report the death of Glowgild's way up there. But before we do, there is just a little bit of pillaging to do, I believe. We're going to attempt it. Tobul, you're going to lead the orcs into battle against the elves of this town. We have 13 companions here. Man, we lost some people. I think actually most of them died to the freezing. I don't think anybody left while we camped overnight. Pretty sure it was all just to the freezing. We're gonna raid this farm town though. Actually, it's more orcs here, isn't it? Orcs, orcs, orcs. Well, we're gonna go find the elves then, and go raid the elves at some point. Let's see if we can recruit some people. The Shogun is here. Hello, Shogun. Do you have any warriors in this town by chance? Greetings. An honor as always. How can I be of service? Yeah, join me. I'm sorry my duty is here. I'm not reporting my success to him either. So damn it, let's get out of here. We need to go find some elves. Where are they at? Oh well. Fine, fine, fine. We'll pillage. Okay, we'll pillage after we go back, report this death, recruit some more people, and then we'll go on a pillaging spree. Unless the next quest is just something amazing. Tell them it was the dented seasoned tips if you live. So we're ambushed on our way back. Looks like we got some elf crossbowmen here. So this is it. This is what sets us off into motion. These elves ambushed us. The Azrakam elf pikemen. They're angry at us for some reason. Oh no, and they shot somebody. Lodges firmly in the wound. The flying sun gold crescent arrow strikes Zehal in the right lower leg, and it strikes Rar in the upper body. Sun gold bolt's been lodged in the wound. Get their archers first. More people are shot. Looks like we fire back. The cobalt bodkin arrow strikes the elf in the head, tearing apart the skin. The other one jumps away from it. Looks like those missed and get run through. The flying sun gold bolt strikes Master Fancy Pants in the left upper leg, tearing the skin through the cotton fiber cloak. Sun gold bolt is lodged in the wound. Master Fancy Pants blocks the sun gold crescent arrows. The elves are opening up with a bunch of arrows. A wave of arrows rip from the shadows. Azrakam elf spearman twists the embedded sun gold spear around in Peyton's head. Peyton, you've got a spear through your brain. We're standing here getting ready to do combat with an elf pikeman. Right here we have somebody bleeding out. Azrakam elf maceman. He got shot by a cobalt arrow. There's a bowman there. There's another bowman. Looks like this is a swordsman coming in from the edge. We have Zehal here. Rob Staley there. Raid Soft. Ken Chan. Z-Sword. There you are, Rar. Looks like you shrugged off your wound, maybe. Griffin God, you're there taking down an elf hammerman. He's flashing. You've got him wounded. Peyton, there you are with an elf hammerman on you. And a spear was lodged in your head. Master Ozra's there. Gamma Ray, Gargles. And there's another elf. We're going to attack this little pikeman here. What do we have? Normal strike, fairly solid. Easy, fairly solid on his left foot. Go for his foot. Slash it off. We twist, and we slash the elf pikeman in the left foot with our black bronze short sword. The severed part sails off in an arc. We don't stop at him, though. We're going to turn our attention, now that he's out of the action, out of the game, towards those crossbowmen down there, before they can reload and do any more damage. Let's see, Master Fancy Pants bashes the elf crossbowman in the right lower arm. Looks like it breaks the arm. Hammerman bashes Peyton in the head, bruising the upper spine's nervous tissue. Your whole face, Peyton, is just getting beat and bashed in. Azrakam elf hammerman attacks Griffin God, but she jumps away. The cobalt bodkin arrow lodges in the wound. Looks like it striked him in the upper leg, paralyzing his leg. He falls over. Oh no, and Peyton, you've been struck down. The elf hammerman bashes Peyton in the head, smashing your head on the ground like a grape. It splatters all over the place, and you stop twitching instantly. Let's see. Looks like they also cut your foot off right before that, too. Master Ozra, you're fighting. You're stabbing the Azrakam elf hammerman. Looks like you got 2 stabs in there. They're trying to turn their attention to attack you, and you're counterattacking. We're going to take another step towards these crossbowmen here while our orcs back there clean up. The Edge Elf Spearman misses Gargles. Rob misses twice. Cobalt Bodkin Arrow lodges in the wound, and the Elf Swordsman begins having trouble breathing as it pierces through his chest. Rob misses. Master Ozra stabs the Elf Hammerman in the head, tearing the muscle. Master Ozra gets to work, a master with this weapon. Gargles attacks the Elf Spearman, but she jumps away, and another bolt sails through the air and strikes the Elf Pikeman in the upper body. The orcs are returning fire with a higher rate of fire and a sharper precision than even the elves. So let's see, we've caught up to the bowmen here. We can do an easy strike on the upper body. Easy strike, easy strike. The opportunity we have is on his thumb, which I'm not really worried about. An impossible strike on his tooth. Let's stab at his tooth, maybe we can go through his head. So, his upper right tooth. Oh, that's just a punch. We could punch him in the face, which isn't quite violent enough for me. So, let's stab at him. Upper body, fairly solid. We're going to stab him in the... let's slash him in the upper body. We slash the elf in the upper body with the black bronze short sword, tearing apart the muscle and tearing apart the right lung through the rope reed. A huge wound opens through his rib cage and he begins having trouble breathing. He falls down, gasping. He gives in to the pain. Master Ozra stabs the elf hammerman in the head with the copper spear, tearing the muscle and bruising the skull. The elf bowman falls over. Master Fancy Pants attacks the elf, but he jumps to the side. And we fire a black steel bodkin arrow at the elf swordsman. It goes through his leg. Gargles is back there having a nice back and forth with a spearman. And we're going to take off this way, towards this guy. Elf Gold Spearman stabs Master Ozra, and it lodges in the wound. Master Ozra stabs back and hits an Elf Hammerman in the head with the copper spear. A tendon in the skull's been torn. The Ashcom Elf Pikeman stabs Rar 359 in the right foot. A motor nerve's been severed. The leg goes numb. It doesn't look like Rar falls over, though. Yep, actually, hang on. Rar falls over. Gargles bashes the Elf Spearman in the left upper arm, and the Elf Spearman twists the spear around in Master Ozra's left foot. It went through a weak spot in his armor. We charge forward again. Master Ozra is still standing, still fighting. He thrusts his weapon at the Elf Hammerman, tearing a muscle and bruising the skull. Headshots every time from Master Ozra. He's in a state of rage. Gamma Ray charges at the Elf Spearman. They tangle together and tumble backwards, collapsing onto the ground in a pile of dust, and they begin rolling. Master Ozra stabs the Elf Hammerman in the head again, tearing the muscle, bruising the skull to the turban. Why won't you die? Master Ozra yells. Gamma Ray bashes the Elf Spearman again in the lower leg. We step forward. Azrakam Elf Pikeman stabs Rar in the right upper leg. The Elf Maceman regains his composure and stands up. More fighting. Master Ozra stabs the Elf Hammerman in the head again, tearing apart the upper spine's nervous tissue. The head basically just a block Elf Swiss cheese now. The Elf Hammerman lets go of the gold warhammer. Gamma Ray bashes the Azrakam Spearman in the lower body. Let's see. The Azrakam Elf Spearman is looking sick, and the Azrakam Elf Hammerman bashes Griffin God in the left foot, jamming the bone through the ankle. His foot looks sick and twisted. And here we are, finally caught up to this piece of junk. This Elf Bowman. Tricky, square, solid. Easy, solid, easier strike, fairly solid, easy, solid on his arm. Let's chop the whole damn arm off, shall we? A right lower arm, slash at it. The Elf Bowman loses hold of his mitten and his right glove. We slash him in the right lower arm and it sails off, splattering onto the ground. A ligament's been torn. The Elf Pikeman scratches Rar in the right foot, and Griffin God falls over. The ringleader bashes Z-Hall, so the ringleader has finally emerged, wherever he is. He charges at Z-Hall, and he bashes you, Z-Hall, in the upper body, bruising the muscle and bruising your lung. Your lung collapses on itself, and you begin having trouble breathing. He collides with you at full speed and knocks you onto the ground. You're gasping for air. Master Ozra stabs the Elf Hammerman in the head. Again, another headshot. The flying gold bolt strikes Master Fancy Pants in the left lower leg, chipping a bone. It embeds itself in the meat, and Gamma Ray bashes the spearman, but it jumps to the side. Okay, so we've got these three wounded people here. There's a fight going on here. which is Master Fancy Pants and this crossbowman. Surely he can take care of that. We've got a downed pikeman here who's missing his foot. An elf swordsman here who is leaving a trail of blood, so he's probably crawling away. There's the ringleader fighting with Z-Hall, who is wounded. There's Rob Staley. There might be somebody there. There is Rar, who is wounded. Everybody who's flashing is wounded. Griffin God, you're wounded, but so is that hammerman you're fighting. There's an elf hammerman, and there's Master Ozra and Gamma Ray, and an elf spearman. There's a huge dog pile of bodies right here. They're all fighting for control and dominance. Man. I guess I'm gonna try to finish off these two crossbowmen, and then make my way to the ringleader. That's my plan. The elf Azure can kicks. It kicks Ra on the right foot, breaking a bone, and the ringleader bashes Z-Hall in the lower body with the Sun Gold Morning Star, bruising the muscle and bruising the guts. Z-Hall looks sick. Rob stands up, and the pikeman's bled to death over there. Looks like we're on top of this crossbowman, or this bowman. Easy strike, fairly solid. Do I have anything on his head? This is an easier strike on his arm. His upper body, let's slash at it. We slash him in the upper body. Tears apart a lung. He begins having trouble breathing, and gasps as well. The elf pikeman kicks Ra in the lower body, bruising the muscle, and the ringleader punches Z-Hall in the right leg. A tendon's been torn from the punch. He's full of rage. Ra gives into the pain and collapses. Elf bowman, tricky, easier strike. Head, difficult strike. I don't have anything really there. Hand. Go for a groin shot because I'm already wounded. I don't need to incapacitate him anymore. Upper body, tricky strike. Slash at him again. We slash at him in the upper body with the short sword. It tears the muscles and shatters the rib. The elf hammerman bashes Griffin God, bruising a muscle. Ringleader kicks Z-Hall in the nose. His face crumples in. Blood sprays all over his face. And the elf pikeman stabs Ra in the head with the sun gold pike, tearing the muscle and fracturing the skull through the mask. The sun gold spike gets lodged in your face. Bowman, hurry up and die. Difficult strike, fairly solid. Tricky strike, we're going to slice him again. We slash the elf bowman in the upper body. An artery's been torn, a tendon's been torn, and the ringleader bashes Z-Hall in the right lower leg, chipping a bone. Die, you bowman. Here we go, on the head. Normal strike, very square. Stab at it. The elf bowman loses hold. We stab him in the head. His head sails off and rolls on the ground. And the Azrakam elf pikeman twists the gold spear around in Rar's head. Where's that at? Man, that is a long way to run. Sorry, Rar, I'm not going to be able to make it over to you. We're going to run over this way, though. Maybe we can save our friend here from being killed. The ringleader bashes Z-Hall in the left foot, and he gets lodged in. The Azrakam elf spearman loses hold of his spear. Master Fancy Pants, you give into the pain and fall over. Gamma Ray, you bash the elf hammerman in the head. Master Fancy Pants falls over on the ground. Oh no, and Rar, you've been struck down. The elf pikeman stabs you in the head and it destroys your brain. Your steel mask buckles under the force of the blow. Your Azrakam elf hammerman bashes Griffin God in the right lower leg, and he gives into the pain. Oh, this is a massacre. Master Ozra stabs the elf in the right foot. The ringleader twists his morning star around. The spikes shred the meat around it. Azrakam elf spearman misses Master Ozra, who dodges to the side. Z-Hall vomits. Z-Hall retches. Master Ozra attacks the elf spearman, but she scrambles away, and the ringleader bashes Z-Hall in the right upper leg. A tendon's been torn. Gamma Ray bashes the elf hammerman in the head. I guess he's probably laying down on the ground. Z-Hall tries to attack but misses the ringleader, and a flying black steel bodkin arrow flies from the back and strikes the ringleader in the left testicle, ripping the testicle off and sailing off into the distance. Gamma Ray bashes the Azrakam elf hammerman in the head. A tendon in the skull's been torn and skin peels back. Master Ozra stabs the elf hammerman in the head, tearing apart a tendon and bruising the skull. Get to work, Master Ozra. Ringleader bashes Z-Hall in the right upper leg, fracturing the bone. Oh, Z-Hall, you're getting tenderized. Another flying cobalt bodkin arrow. What's it do? What was that noise? I'm scared now. The elf pikeman The tendon in the skull's been torn, and an elf pikeman's been shot and killed, and Master Ozra stabs the elf hammerman in the head again. Ringleader bashes Zehal in the left hand. An artery has been torn open, and the Morning Star gets jammed in Zehal's hand. Ringleader twists the weapon around and laughs. We're gonna run by this bowman and chop his head off. We slash the elf bowman in the head. We don't even falter for a second though. We're still running at full speed. We just flicked our swords as we ran by, our eyes dead set on the ringleader, a glow of intense hatred burning in them. The black bronze short sword's been lodged in the wound, and Zehal retches. Rob misses the hammerman. Attacks again, and the flying cobalt bodkin arrow just narrowly misses the ringleader, sailing to the side. Master Fancy Pants loses hold of the cobalt shield. The ligament's been torn in his hand. And the elf hammerman bashes Griffin God in the head. Oh, and Griffin God, you've been struck down. Gargles bashes the hammerman in the head. A tendon's been torn. Everyone's going for headshots now. Gamma Ray bashes the elf hammerman in the head, bruising the muscle. And another cobalt bolt sails through the air and strikes the ringleader in the upper body. He's taken by surprise. The tendon in the left true rib's been torn, and the ringleader bashes Zehal in the upper body in return, bruising the muscle and bruising his lung. The pikeman tries to attack Rob, but he jumps to the side. More headshots from Gargles, Gamma Ray, and Master Ozra. A flying sun gold crescent arrow strikes Gamma Ray in the left lower leg, tearing apart the fat, and it lodges in the wound. And just before we can get to the ringleader, we're still here. He's there. He gives in to the pain and falls over. And the Adjecum Elf pikeman strikes at Rob, but the shot is blocked. More headshots from the trio over there. The elf spearman misses Master Ozra, and Master Ozra stabs the hammerman in the head. An artery's been torn open, and the ringleader loses hold of his sandal and sock. Someone had cut his leg off. The flying cobalt bodkin arrow strikes the ringleader in the right upper leg and completely severs his leg. Gamma Ray bashes the hammerman in the head. I think all of them are down. Rob strikes at the elf pikeman, but he parries, and he counter-strikes. The ringleader loses hold of his other stuff. Another black steel arrow hits him in the right upper arm, ripping that apart too, right through the bone. It sails off in a bloody arc. Rob strikes the pikeman, but the shot is parried. Rob's weak and tired. He's leaving himself way exposed on every attack. He gets counter-striked, and Rob loses hold of his right mitten, his right glove, and of his cobalt naginata. He's stabbed in the right hand, and his right hand is cut off. No! Gamma Ray bashes the elf hammerman in the head, bruising a muscle, giving him a massive headache. And Gargles bashes the hammerman in the head as well. More headshots. Adjecum Elf pikeman attacks Rob, but he jumps to the side. And Zehal retches, and the maceman's bled to death. Master Ozra strikes him, the spearman, in the lower arm. Looks like it chipped the bone. Gamma Ray bashes the elf hammerman in the head, bruising the muscle, and a tendon in the skull's been torn. Gargles bashes the elf hammerman in the head, and another tendon's been torn. Looks like they counter-strike for a bit and go back and forth. We step up next to the ringleader. The flying cobalt bolt strikes the elf pikeman in the head, tearing the muscle, and we block the flying sun gold bolt by slicing it out of the air, wherever that came from. I'm looking for... There's an elf who's not hurt. I think he's an axeman, though. Okay, let's get this ringleader. We've got Adjecum Elf, Crossbowman, and Fancy Pants on the ground. Where's our opportunity attack? Go for the toe. No. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Normal, fairly solid. Go for his hand. We slash at it. We slash the Adjecum Elf Crossbowman in the right hand with the black bronze short sword, and it sails off in a bloody arc. He looks down in shock. He didn't even see us approaching, apparently. He wasn't prepared for it. He thought he was all alone over there, taking advantage of poor Zehal. So let's see. Easy strike, fairly solid. He's standing there in dismay, looking at his bloody stump, and we go for the left lower leg. We slash at it. Many nerves have been severed, and the elf crossbowman falls over. So where did the ringleader go then? Easy strike, easy strike, easy strike, fairly solid. Tricky square, easy. Let's go for the head. We stab at it. We stab the Adjecum Elf crossbowman in the head with the black bronze short sword, shattering the skull and tearing apart the brain. He's been struck down. The flying black steel bolt strikes the elf pikeman in the left lower arm, and gets lodged in the wound. Gamma Ray, you just got shot in the leg. Z-Hall wretches. Okay, so we got Z-Hall here. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Gargles punches the elf. And Rob, you've bled to death from your many wounds. Gargles bashes the spearman in the left foot. The elf hammerman attacks Z-Sword, but he jumps away. And flying cobalt bolt sails through the air and strikes the hammerman in the left upper leg, impales itself. Gargles bashes the spearman in the upper body. So let's get up here. Spearman jumps to the side. We jump to the side. Come back here, you cowardly elf. He begins running away. Z-Hall gives into the pain and passes out. And this guy right here, the elf hammerman, do I have anything I can throw at him? I don't think I do. He's just as fast as me, and he's not giving in. Get back here and fight. There's an elf back there hiding. Let's see, the flying sun gold crescent arrow strikes Rob Staley and lodges in the wound. Screw it, he can run away if he wants. That guy's up there limping away too. Who do we have left? Looks like dead. Griffin got dead. So we do for sure have Raid, Soft, and Ken-chan. They're both standing. Z-Hall's down. Master Fancy Pants is down. Gargles, you're alive and standing. Rob Staley, you're alive and standing. And N-Sword, or Z-Sword, you're alive and standing. Gargles punches him. Where are they fighting at? Where is Gargles? Z-Sword. Is he up here? There's the elf hammerman. I do not know. I don't see any elves twitching. Gargles attacks the hammerman, but he scrambles away. Yep, they are up here fighting. And the hammerman shakes Gargles around by the right hand. He bites onto him. An artery's been severed. Z-Hall's no longer stunned. Don't worry, Gargles, we're coming. The Azure-Kim elf hammerman shakes Gargles around by the right hand. Another artery has been torn. We come up behind the hammerman here. He's not even expecting us. We have a normal, fairly solid strike on his head. We swing from behind with the black bronze short sword, tearing apart the muscle and shattering the skull. A tendon's been torn. And then let's go for an upper body stab. We stab him in the upper body from behind, bringing our sword down and around. We pierce through his body, up through the lung, and he's having trouble breathing, and Master Fancy Pants regains consciousness as well. Let's chase down this hammerman. Another normal, fairly solid from behind. We slash. We slash him in the head, and it sails off in a bloody arc. There's a crossbowman. The flying bolt strikes the elf bowman in the lower body, tearing the skin through the cloak. I think he shot at us, but we blocked it. We block another one. A flying cobalt bolt sails over the edge and strikes the elf bowman in the right lower arm. We reach the elf and raise our sword at full speed. Upper body. We swing, but she jumps to the side. Normal strike, fairly solid. What do we have here? Let's go for a finger attack then. Strike it with the red shield. We strike our shield at it. We bruise his finger, stunning him for just a moment. Tricky, very square. We try to bring our sword across his throat. We tear apart a muscle and fracture the skull. And Z-Hall's retching over there. We can hear him. His right arm, his left hand. Go for the hand. Slash at it. He loses hold of his mittens and gloves, and he gives in to the pain and falls over. And we quickly dispatch him. Okay, so let's everybody try to gather around here. We're going to travel out of here. The only person I see wounded, not moving, is right here and here. Or at least flashing wounded. Dead, not visible, not visible. Griffin God, I know you're dead. Gamma Ray, I'm pretty sure you're dead. Okay. Yeah, let's travel.